Have you ever wondered about what you'd say when you met that next CEO, movie star, president? How do you even talk to them? Don't worry about it. Whether you have a meeting scheduled on your calendar or you just want to be prepared in case, here are 7 important things that you need to keep in mind. Step 1 is the urgent and important matrix. Would you bend over to pick up a dollar? Now what about if that dollar was right in front of Bill Gates? He would not pick it up, even if there were 44,999 more dollars right in front of him. That's because Bill Gates' time is worth way more than the time it would take to literally pick up those dollars. Crazy. Take the same mindset with VIPs, especially those who are in their workplace. Time is money, and the time you spend with a VIP should make them feel like gold. VIPs are constantly busy, so even if they can use a minute to talk to you, they're already planning their next task. Make that time worthwhile. If you're already scheduled to meet them at an event, then good for you. However, if you need to run through traffic for a 60-second chat, then it might just be better to opt for a different method of communication. How well do you know your VIP? Step number 2 is to do your homework. One of the biggest hurdles is not knowing what to say when you get the opportunity. Finding common ground gives you topics that you can speak passionately about, ensuring that this doesn't happen.
Did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
Oh, you know what? My mistake.
See, you're as crazy as the people on Twitter.
Right.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
You've got to do your homework. Browse them on social media, read their books, and listen to their podcasts, check out their website, watch previous interviews, know their backstory, and any recent changes on their life and work. Step 3 is the approach and maybe even the most important step. Many times, you may find the VIP talking to other people. The key is to identify what type of conversation they're having, business or personal. If it's business, skip it. It's best to stay out of the way in those situations, unless the business is directly related to you or you have an amazing solution. If it's personal, if they're laughing and having a blast, go talk to them and turn up that energy. Bringing in a lower energy is a surefire way to kill the mood, so it's best to enter while bringing up something relevant and keeping the energy high. Now, everything depends on the situation. For example, what if the VIP looks like this? If you find them standing alone, then you've hit a jackpot. Go talk to them. Now, if they're talking to one other person like this, you need to figure out who that person is. This is the second best scenario. If the other person is a fan, great, you both have equal footing and this is a great time to approach. A family member? If the VIP is with their sibling, parents, or significant other, it should also be easy to approach. However, if they seem to want a private space, then they may be annoyed if you disturb them. If you overhear deep discussions with numbers and facts, then it's best to wait until they're done. The other person is probably a business partner. No one likes their important discussions to be interrupted. And finally, the friend. If the two are talking like good friends, then it's safe to assume that they're having a good time. Approach with confidence and be friendly. Okay, so now you're ready. Approach from the side and the front. This avoids the head-on approach, since most VIPs may find a frontal approach more intimidating. They can also sense you from their peripheral vision, avoiding a surprise attack. Make sure to include everyone in the conversation if there's another person or multiple other people. If you find the VIP talking to a group and not with them, it's mostly because he or she is the boss. Try one of these methods. The team member. This approach involves inserting yourself directly in line with everyone else. This is the safest way to do it, although it gives you a minor status. Do this if you want to blend in and build a rapport with the other people around you. The second one is a sidekick. This targets the VIP right away. Directly approach the VIP when there's a break in conversation and get straight to the point. Divert attention away from the others in the group by introducing yourself and saying, "I was hoping I could have a chat with you." Now say they're in a circle. It's definitely going to be harder to break in. There's going to be more equal status in the circle compared to the previous setup. Your approach has to convey value and equal status in order to be effective. You can do the slide in, which is probably the safest way to insert yourself in the circle. The buddy approach is good if you know the VIP already, but don't know anyone else in the circle. If the VIP doesn't know you and you use this approach, you'll come off as a little creepy. The power position is when you join the circle directly across from the VIP. This is a huge power play and signifies that you've had important part of the group and you're going to take the position that shows that you have confidence and social skills. Now, what if it's a VIP circle? Sometimes you may see a group of VIPs huddled together. Approaching the circle takes rock solid confidence and a good control of your nerves. You can use the other methods of approach above, but here are a few more you may want to consider. The crowd pleaser. For 99.9% of people, I would not recommend doing this. The only situation I can see this happening in is someone like David Blaine doing a fancy card trick. But for most people, avoid jumping towards the middle. But for that 0.1%, go for it. You'll definitely make a lasting impression. Now look at this. The VIP is so important that they're surrounded by bodyguards. Your best bet is sending an email or a letter. Step number 4 is the opening. Now that you're in, you need to nail the opening. The opening is especially important since the first 7 seconds of interactions is the part that they'll judge you on. Let's divide this into parts. The first line. It's not so much what you say, but how you say it. That's why asking the go-to "how are you" is actually a great way to start. If you can, try to organically insert yourself, such as saying, "Hey, my name is blank. I couldn't help but overhear that you were talking about blank." Have a pocket question. This should be a question, or 2, or 3, that you have armed and ready so you'll be able to jump straight into a conversation. Let them initiate. Often, you can find yourself being too excited or too nervous and invading their space or staying too far away. Let them decide if you're going to go for a handshake or a wave and how far apart to stand. Finally, use your happy hello. People can identify your tone of voice, so use your happy one. It states that you have confidence in yourself and you're happy to meet the other person. Step 5 is the launch and mirror. Okay, so you've introduced yourself. Now just pay attention to what your body is saying. Don't commit the ABC behaviors. Annoying, like jumping up and down and squealing. Blocking, like crossed arms, covering eyes and crossed legs. And creepy, like asking them to autograph your forehead. Instead of these blocking behaviors, you've got to signal that you're a friend. How? Stand in the launch position. This includes making sure your toes are pointed towards the person, arms are relaxed, and shoulders loose. I include a more detailed description of the launch position in my first impressions video, linked up here. You can also use mirroring to instantly build a rapport. Be subtle though. It's worse to be obvious than to not mirror at all. Add a delay or do a slightly different gesture to not raise any red flags. Step number 6 is to be a value machine. This may be a hard step. Ask yourself, what value can you add for that VIP? This can range from a variety of things. Do you have inside information? Or are you just funny and add entertainment to their day? The key to adding value is actually owning what you say. Go 100% and don't ever settle for 50. Choose your words and be confident. Don't say "I think," instead say "there is." Additionally, treat them like a normal person. VIPs get pampered all the time, so if you're acting the same as other people, you're not going to stand out. Share your stories, offer advice, compliment everyone in the group, and don't waste time. Step 7 is the wrap-up. You've approached, introduced yourself, and are vibing with this very important person. Now comes the important part. Tell them what you're here for. What was the main point of the VIP meetup? Did you want to sell them with your elevator pitch? Maybe just want to get their autograph to sell on eBay? Whatever the case, it's time to make it known. Get straight to the point and talk about results before the process. Finally, make a graceful exit, or you may ruin everything that's been built up. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing.